Welcome to Echo Sportscast number 56.
I'm Ben Sargent.
I'm Jackson Bull, and today's episode is jam-packed with interviews, highlights, and updates, including the 2-0 Trojans playing the 1-1 Barons in a big rematch on the football field as they fight for the coveted first place bye to the finals in a couple weeks when playoffs start.
The Chippewa senior girls basketball team continues to have a great season as they beat Mattawa on Monday, and we ended up getting some interviews from coach Chris Winia and point guard Annie Bowl.
On the volleyball court, Schollard hosted Algonquin in an important game for both teams as they are both looking to dethrone Chippewa for this year's NDA title.
NDA Tennis hosted their big fall tournament. We have results and interviews from the winning men's and women's doubles team.
The Lakers lacrosse team finished off their home schedule with a perfect 5-0 start. We have highlights from their final home win of the year versus McMaster. We also caught up with head coach Jason Rudge and midfielder Callum Jeffery as they head on the road.
And finally, I sat down with David Batanti, Annika Nolte, and Cassidy Brooks of the Lakers women's soccer team for this week's Echo Spotlight interview.
All of that and more on the way after a word from my title sponsor, Homewood Suites by Hilton North Bay.
North Bay's turning 100, and what a time to be here. From the buzz of the Heritage Parade to sunset concerts at the waterfront, the city is alive with celebration. And you know who's right in the middle of it all? Homewood Suites by Hilton North Bay. We're proud to be a part of this milestone moment. Whether you're coming home from a family reunion, planning a gathering with friends, or just simply making the most of everything the Centennial has to offer, our doors are open. Stay in a spacious suite that feels like home, with a full kitchen to cook in, room to relax, and a space to unwind after a full day of fun. Are you hosting something bigger? Our event spaces and amazing local partners like the Grand and Stock Transportation make it easy to bring people together. Best of all, they're just steps from the action. The fireworks, the food trucks, the music, the laughter, it's all right here. Celebrate 100 years of North Bay with us. Use code Centennial to save on your stay anytime this year. Be at home with Homewood Suites by Hilton North Bay. Join the party today at 495 Oak Street West or give us a call at 705-495-3000.
So West Ferris faced off against Algonquin. I was there on Friday afternoon. It was a gorgeous day. Not too often you're wearing shorts and a t-shirt in October, but on the field, it was the Barons who were hot as I got there in the third quarter. The Barons already having a healthy lead. Their defense really shut down the Trojans' offense, which has been a major threat for West Ferris. Nick Corbeil only found the end zone once as Algonquin held them to 7 points. And, of course, back in that first week matchup, Algonquin was missing their starting quarterback, Dane Meyer. And here, Dane showed his skill as he led his team to a 30-7 victory, which now moves Algonquin and West Ferris for a tie, both having 2-1 records heading into the final two games. Both teams still need to face the Schollard Hall Bears. And afterwards, I chatted with head coach Ryan Desbiens to get his thoughts heading into an important final week and a half of the season.
So a beautiful day for football. Not often is it October 3rd and you're rocking the bucket hat, the shorts, everything. I'm here with Barons head coach of the senior football team, Ryan Desbiens. Ryan, you just won 30-7 over the Trojans, the unbeaten Trojans at this point, a team that beat you in week one and you came back. What a win for you guys. How does this feel?
For us, it's mission accomplished. I mean, we after that first game there, it stung quite a bit, and a lot of these guys took it personally, and we've been working for the last two and a half weeks to get ready for this game. And they showed up today. It was nice to see all facets of the game: special teams, defense, offense. We were getting guys in, like guys playing different positions and stuff, and everybody showed up today. So it was nice to see. The
biggest thing you were missing in that first week was, of course, your starting QB, Dane Meyer, who was out with an injury. He comes back. We talked to him last week, and he said, I quote, his receivers are unguardable. And you can kind of see that here today. A little bit about his performance here this afternoon.
Oh, he was awesome. Again, he runs the offense really well, and like a lot of credit goes to him, but also our OC Nick Shank there. He's like a mad scientist in the film room and everything we have here has been.
So you'll notice the interview cut off very abruptly, and that was because my camera decided it wasn't going to keep recording after about a minute and a half. So yeah, welcome to the world of production.
Yeah, a minute and a half, and he likes to talk as well. Did you get a lot from him?
Yeah, I kind of did. So I'll talk about some of the stuff from my memory that we talked about. But the funny thing is, every time coaches are like this, like kids like to be interviewed, or the student athletes. But then he's like, I hate these interviews. So I'm like, I don't blame him, because, you say his stuff enough. But No, we talked a little bit, like it got cut off when he was talking about Dane's his offensive prowess and kind of what he's done on the football field, which is he's been great, and you can tell like the difference between when him missing week 1 and him being here. Their defense was right there. I think he talked a little bit more about the defense, but the big thing was what was upcoming, which is the fact that the tiebreaker. I believe Algonquin now holds the tiebreaker because they've scored more points in the 2 games they faced each other, because they won by a wider margin here in the game last Friday. But the big thing is that I don't know the exact time, but I believe their Friday game, or next Friday, not today, but next Friday game, got moved up to Tuesday because they're hosting OFSA. So keep an eye out for socials to make sure you know when that game is coming out. But overall, Algonquin really showing that they might go back-to-back.
Yeah, like you said, both teams still have to play Scholar to see who will get that 1 seed, but coming and beating Ferris like almost handily 30-7 is huge. It definitely raises some questions for who's going to win it.
Yeah, and Scholar, of course, going in 0-2, they have a chance to do something really wild, which is if they win both those games by a good margin, we could have a 3-way, all teams will be 2-2. So it's going to be fascinating. So today, this afternoon, they're playing against West Ferris at Kandari Field, so at Scholar. And that's basically the Scholar needs to win this to try to get that bye. If not, they'll be in the semifinals facing most likely West Ferris. So it might be an interesting matchup, but it'll be a look at potentially what we'll see in the semifinal. But Algonquin, there was talks in week 1 where you go, Ferris might really run away with this, especially after their opening 2 wins. And I think Algonquin now, it's going to be if they meet in the finals. Look, Scholar, anything can happen in the playoffs, but I think it'll be a very good final if those 2 meet.
Yeah, like you said, anything can happen in the playoffs, and student athletes can be unpredictable depending on who you get that day. And football, like we've been talking about all season, football's about big plays. We could get some interceptions or some big touchdown throws from Dane or from the Scholar quarterback.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that Chippewa, because they have a junior team. There's 5 junior teams, because I think Franco, I believe, is the other one who also has a junior team. Hopefully next year we'll see more than 3 senior teams. I think that would be really good, especially because right now teams have a bye week, so you only play really every other week. So having at least one more team means more games, because teams are now playing every week, and it makes it for more exciting. Obviously, Whittafield's no longer a thing, but when you had Whittafield in there and Franco and Chippewa, it just makes for a better league when you have 5-6 teams versus having, just 3.
Absolutely. You have smaller rivalries, bigger rivalries. And like you said, it takes away the bye week. It makes it so there's 2 big semifinal games. Overall, it's just better.
Speaking of Chippewa, you remember the story of Icarus?
Yeah.
The one who had wax wings, flew too close to the sun and got burned. That was me on Monday. I've learned a lot of important lessons this week, and that was one of those important lessons, because I try to be as efficient as possible when it comes to trying to get footage and everything, because I do it, I still work full time. I don't really take the hours I cover sports, especially when it happens at night or on the weekend, away from my like work week. And so I was getting some stuff done, and I'm like, okay, if I leave here at 5:30, we're right beside Chippewa, I'll be able to catch the 4th quarter. And for some reason, I got there at 5:50-ish, 5:50, 5:55, and there was 20 seconds left in the game, and I got 0 footage. So that was it. Mattawa did end up falling to Chippewa 55-10, but it was such is life,
Yeah, it's tough. It must have just flew by. No whistles, no girls fouled, no girls traveled, just bucket after bucket.
But I did grab a couple of interviews. Of course, we got Chris Winya, who is the assistant coach. It was his birthday, by the way, so happy birthday or belated birthday, I guess, now to Chris. If you see him and you're in around the Chippewa world, I guess you can say belated happy birthday. But we did get a really good interview with him, and the feature interview with none other than your sister Annie, who put you in the ringer a little bit, as she told you to, well, you'll see it in the interview, but basically very politely say, don't tell her how to shoot 3-pointers.
Yeah, she gave me the gears when I got home, and I told her I was honest. I said I hadn't seen very many, and in Wednesday night's game, she hit 3. She had me know. She told me.
Yeah. She also thinks that she's better because She plays real softball, not slow pitch.
Oh, wow. Real personal, I see.
Real
Okay.
personal.
Did you say anything to that, or you just let it run with that?
I just like to play. I play men's league. It's fun. I don't take it seriously. I'm okay being, I
right.
play with a bunch of like 50-year-old people. Like I don't care.
Yeah. All
So
right. Well,
I don't take it personally, but just know that there's a little bit of a rivalry there.
yeah, I guess so.
Anyways, here's the interview that we had with Chris and Annie.
All right, I'm here at the Chippewa gym with Ravens coach of the senior girls basketball, Chris Winia. You guys just won 55-10 over Mattawa. First, Chris, how's the season gone for you guys?
Yeah, it's been a strong season so far. We had one loss against Schollard, played a couple tournaments, so we've had a lot of basketball pretty early into the season, but it's going quite well so far.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit off air about the team to watch, and it was surprising. Not Algonquin was the answer; it was Schollard this year. What makes Schollard so formidable, and how do you think you guys match up against them?
Yeah, so right now we're 1-1 with Schollard. They beat us here at home, and then we beat them, at their school. They got a strong team, a lot of strong players that have been in the program for a while. Hard workers, tall under the basket, making rebounds. We can't allow them to get those second shots off, but we've done that in our games, so that's something that we're going to try and work on for sure. But yeah, Schollard is the school to beat, I would say.
So I missed the game today. I came in hoping to catch the last quarter, and you guys were done really quick, as it was about 6 o'clock, so it was just under an hour that you guys played. How did you think your performance was this evening?
Yeah, it was good. We started to work on some kind of new plays and things that we have. Mattawa came out with a zone defense, which was nice for us to practice because we haven't seen a zone defense yet. So we had an offense that we were working on with that. And we got a pretty deep bench this year, so that sort of allowed us to get a lot of players on the court, and a lot of the girls saw a lot of playing time tonight too. So that was nice for them, for sure.
And I know that you guys, I believe it was last Thursday, you came away with a pretty crazy win at the last second. I know Jackson, who's Annie's brother, we're going to try to get her for an interview too here after, but he texted me, said, I can't believe Chippewa just won. It was like 36-35. Tell me a little bit about that win that you guys had.
Yeah, so it ended up being 35-33. It was back and forth all game. We sort of maintained, call it a 2-point lead throughout most of the game, and then that last quarter it got very intense. We had a lot of fans in the stands. Schollard had a lot of fans in the stands, and it came down to, there was 9 seconds left, and we scored. Alina scored with 2 seconds left and put us ahead by 2, and we closed it out after that. 2 seconds ran out of time. So, it was a big win for us. The girls were very excited. We were very excited, and it was nice to come back after a loss from them earlier in the season.
I want to shout out a couple of your team. Who are the people who, I know that you got lots of girls on the team, but who are the ones that you want to shout out here tonight?
Yeah, definitely Annie Bowl, Alina Kleinbeck. Brenna Gervais is doing awesome this year. She's gained a lot of confidence this year and taken a lot of shots. All the girls have really started to shine this year. We have pretty much split half and half with grade 11 and grade 12 players, so it's nice that we have so many. We're trying to build the program here at Chippewa, and it's great to see a lot of girls coming out and playing basketball, enjoying basketball, and excelling in their skills over the years that they've been here.
So the playoffs are they're very close. We're almost through the season as we get into all the playoffs coming in for a lot of the sports here in November-ish, end of October. I can't believe we're already in this almost the second week of October. How does the playoff format work here, and who are you expecting to face, I guess, in some of the early rounds?
Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel like October today with it being 25 degrees out, but yeah, the season is clicking by. So our playoffs are kind of set where we have 6 teams in the league, so depending on where you place, you'll play a team, and if you win or lose, you'll move on. Losers don't move on, and then when you get to the finals, it's best 2 out of 3. Now for us, we're anticipating seeing Schollard in the finals. That seems a bit hopeful, but I feel like that's where we'll get to, and that'll be a pretty exciting matchup for the NDA championship for sure.
Well, Coach, good luck for the rest of the season, and congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you very much.
So I'm here with Annie Bull, point guard here for the Chippewa Ravens, as you guys just defeated Mattawa 55-10. First of all, Annie, how's the season been going for you guys?
It's going really, really good. We've only lost one regular season game. That was to Schollard, and then we beat them the second time we played, so we're doing really, really well.
How have you felt like your season has gone? Obviously, point guard is probably one of, if not the most important position on the court. How do you feel that you've done this season?
Pretty well individually. I was a little worried because I've played club for the past couple of years, but I didn't last year, so I was a little worried that I was going to be behind, but I think I picked up where I left off pretty quickly, so I'm pretty happy with how I'm doing.
So how has the team changed over the course? I know you're only really with a program for a couple of years, but how do you feel like the Chippewa program going, especially from junior to senior, how do you think it's changed over the course of your time being here?
Well, when I was in grade 10, we almost didn't have a senior team, so I think 6 grade 10s had to move up and play senior. I was one that stayed down, so it was the team dynamics were definitely a bit weird because the few seniors that were on the senior team were playing with grade 10s, and me and one other grade 10 were playing with a bunch of grade 9s and without our friends that are our age, so it was a little weird. But we're finally at that part, that year where the grade 11 athletes and the grade 12 athletes lined up, and we have a really good team this year.
Who are some of your the people you want to shout out that's on the team that you think make maybe more of the impact on the game, and who you probably end up passing the ball to the most?
Lily Lyle with her threes are so clutch and insane. Alina can play anywhere and is our captain and can make any layup, and it is makes such an impact on offense and defense. Gemma Long is so good on defense at tipping the ball from whoever's dribbling it. Taylor and Riley Brown are kind of new to the sport, and they're just they're getting so much better so quickly, and it's really cool to see.
It's funny you bring up threes, because back a couple of weeks ago when I believe you guys played Schollard, your brother was there filming. It was his first time filming. He did an all right job, right? All right job. He said, "I have never seen her hit that many threes in my life." Now, I don't know how many threes you hit, but I'm assuming it's quite a few, because I'm sure the 3-point, it's part of your game. So what work have you done in the off season to get used to, or get better at maybe some of the 3-point shooting, and maybe what do you say to your brother when he, doesn't have a lot of faith in your long shot?
Well, last year he would score keep in every single game. He'd tell me to shoot more threes, and I would say no every time because I'm not a 3-point shooter. And the first game this season, I think I made 2 or 3, which is more than I've ever made in a season maybe. I don't shoot a lot of threes. So I just kind of tell him to be quiet and let me play my game, because that's I know my position on the floor, and it's not shooting threes, which is okay. Off season just full body training in the gym and weight rooms and stuff to get strong enough to actually get the ball there, and form shooting and stuff. I did the basketball summer school credit, so I was back in the gym with a coach for a month straight, which was really good. I do a lot of softball, so stay in shape that way.
Probably a better softball player than Jackson too, right?
Mine's a faster pitch. He does slow pitch. I do straight across.
You do real ball, yeah.
He does slow pitch. I do softball.
Okay, and finally, looking ahead to the playoffs and into the future, your coach, I was just talking to him. He was saying he's kind of hoping for a Scholar Chippewa final. Very interesting that Algonquin, who were the winners last year, not in that conversation, which is kind of interesting. They are still a good team, but obviously going through a bit of a transitionary period. What are your hopes going into those playoffs, and what do you kind of expect coming out of it?
Well, in the past, Algonquin has came up from behind in last year and the year before, and made it to the playoffs both times. They just kind of sneak their way in there. They're kind of in a building year, so I think it should be us and Schollard ideally. I think last time we played them, we just wanted it more, and we listened to their coaches and did exactly what we were supposed to. And I think if we do that, we definitely have a really good shot at maybe getting the title this year.
And the last thing we love to ask all of our student athletes is what's the future hold for Annie Bull? What do you want to do in post-secondary, and what are your dreams and aspirations?
I'm going to come back for grade 13 because I really want to keep playing basketball, and I don't know if I'd ever make the university team. And then I'm going to go to Nipissing for like primary junior teaching.
Oh, nice. So teacher, that's the goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. And just kind of going on that question, is there a particular person maybe at Chippewa or while you were growing up that made an impact that made you want to make that choice?
What kind of runs in the family? My mom's a primary teacher and my dad's a high school teacher. Jackson's going to be a high school teacher. I'm going to be primary. I've had really, really great teachers growing up. My grade 2 teacher especially. I love getting to be around kids and like getting to like help them grow, and just like being in a school environment has always been really good for me.
Awesome. Well, Annie, thank you so much. Good luck for the rest of the season, and congratulations on your big win here tonight.
Thank you.
On the other basketball court, Schollard coming away with 2 big victories this week, 61-12 over Franco Cite and 78-23 over Northern. And Algonquin came away with a 66-30 victory over Northern as well. And Chippewa coming away with 2 wins against Mattawa, 55-10 at home, and then they went down on Wednesday and came away with the W.
So obviously we are about halfway through the season, give or take. You kind of have the standings there. They're a little bit hard to read. But how is the league shaping up so far?
So for the senior girls, it's looking like Schollard and Algonquin, and then Chippewa is comfortably in third. Algonquin's got a tough schedule. They have to play Schollard twice and Chippewa one more time, and so a lot can change there. Chippewa beat Schollard, but not as much as they lost by. They lost by 7 and beat Schollard by 2, so Schollard will have the tiebreaker over them if it comes down to it. But all 3 teams looking fierce. That semifinal, second place, third, is what every team is trying to avoid. Whoever finishes first is still going to have a semifinal against the 4th place team. But that 2-3 final is going to be only one game, or the 2-3 semifinal is going to be one game, and it's going to be a battle.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I find senior girls, like the basketball is very fun when you get to the playoff time, because there isn't that clear number one. Because I think even last year Algonquin, they weren't like the clear favorites to win either. So in volleyball, we see Chippewa, and we'll get to volleyball in a second here, but we see Chippewa like really dominating. In football, you kind of see like the Barons kind of having a bit of an edge there. But in basketball, it's fascinating because there's anything could happen and any one of those teams could win.
Yeah, I think last year it was the 2 semifinals where Algonquin, I believe they upset Ferris, and then Chippewa edged out Schollard, and then Algonquin ended up taking it from Chippewa last year. The Bears and the Barons met on the volleyball courts as the Barons took the opening set, and then in the second set it was really tight. The Bears needed 1 point to win. Algonquin went on a rally to push it to 23 points before Schollard finally finished off the second set. Algonquin in the third set took a commanding lead before Schollard started their comeback, but Algonquin finished things with the 25-17 set victory. Schollard ended up taking the match in 5, and we didn't get scores from the 4th and 5th set.
Yeah, so I was there for the second, third set, and a bit of the 4th set, and then I had to leave because later on in the show you'll see we had an interview with some of the lacrosse guys up there, so I had to meet them up at the Nipissing field. And it was such an interesting game, and I'm kind of upset I couldn't see the end because Schollard did come back. They ended up winning in 5 sets. Would have loved to talk to a couple of the people that were there. And I know we talked about this last week, and when you asked how good is Algonquin and how do they look versus Schollard, the fact that Schollard came back, because when I was watching that game, Algonquin could have won that in straight sets. They easily could have won that second set when they started to rally back. They were down like 24-17 or something like that, scored like 6 or 7 straight points, and then finally Schollard got that last point. But yeah, the fact that Schollard comes back, I was kind of leaning towards the Barons being the more obvious number 2 seed in the volleyball world, but with Schollard coming back here, it's going to be an interesting fight for number 2.
Absolutely, and then you have Franco Cite in there who beat Schollard in 5 earlier this week, and they beat Algonquin in 5 earlier in the season. It's going to be really close. Chippewa once again beat Algonquin 3 in straight sets this week, and so they're going to be number 1, but it's going to be tight. That semifinal again is going to be brutal.
And so that was actually my first time in Schollard's gym, which is like a wild thing to say, but I didn't play gym sports at all. I played football and that was about it, and then I kind of moved more into like the arts and stuff. But going to that Scholar gym, first of all, it's like the Catholic. It's not. You think it's small?
I do think it's small. I think
really?
Other schools have like either 2 gymnasiums or like a triple gym, like 3, and they have just the 1 volleyball court and only 1 side of seating, and I think it's not as big.
Okay, I could actually, you know what? I agree. I can agree with that. I would say it's bigger than Algonquin.
Yeah.
Algonquin is very small. It's slightly bigger, but it's nice. Like they have their scoreboards all LED. It's like they got the Catholic school money, which is always, they always have, like, that's the thing with Scholar, is their amenities are so nice at that school.
Yeah, they have the, it's game time when they can put the other team's initials on the board.
Yeah.
It's not just home guests or the home mascot and guests. It's both teams.
Yeah, it's like when you go to your rich friend's house and they have like all these crazy things and you're like, oh, that would be nice. That's kind of what it's like going to Scholar like even their field, like when you look at Kildare Field, it's so nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, like obviously, like I went to Ferris when I was in high school, and that gym probably I don't know if it's the biggest gym, but it's a little bit bigger than Chippewa's because Chippewa's is a double, and I think West Ferris is like 2.5.
Yeah,
I think. So Ferris has always had a big gym there, but I've yet to make the rounds to. Well, I guess that's all the gyms that are in North Bay now, right?
pretty much, yeah. Mattawa's is a double.
Oh, really?
Franco Cite has a double gym and then an Algonquin-sized one on the back half of their school.
I like how you say Algonquin's gym is fine.
Yeah.
It's just a little small, that's all.
Yeah. Franco's other gym has like tile flooring. Like it's a small one. Like
tile flooring.
Yeah, like little concrete tiles like you'd see in an elementary school. It's not wood or anything. Yeah.
That's weird.
Just a little one.
You know what? The one thing about watching this volleyball that's wild is nobody wears knee pads. Like basically no one, and that blows my mind. Why would you not wear knee pads?
Especially with the men. I don't know if it's an ego thing but you just shake them. I guess you graduate from 10th grade and knee pads come off. But I think it's tactical disadvantage because you are actively hurting yourself or being afraid to lay it all out on the line. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So the NDA Tennis had their fall season, I guess you could say, or fall tournament, and we have a little bit of the results there. I was also up there on Monday, kind of in the afternoon. Got a couple of interviews we'll get to in a second, but let's talk about the results first. The fall 2025 NDA Tennis banner went to Chippewa Secondary School, and the following students will be representing their schools in the NDA at NOSSA in Manitoulin Island on October 17th. The boys single was Cam Fry from Chippewa. Girls singles was Seidel Thomas, thank you very much, from West Ferris. The boys doubles went to Cohen Lefebvre and Arthur Shirato from Chippewa, who we do have an interview with, and we'll get to that in a bit. Same with the girls double, who was Sophia Campobasso and Carly Pop. And then finally, mixed doubles was Mila Koch and Jacob Fry from Algonquin, with OFSA, if they make it, in Toronto, November 10th to 12th. Are you a tennis person at all?
Not really as a player. I know with the NDA Tennis, this was the first year they had it in the fall.
Yep.
It was a summer sport. It makes sense. You get your athletes when they're at their best after training all summer, then their worst. But these are some familiar names. Seidel is a family friend. She was...
Thank you for being able to getting me to pronounce that right.
Yeah, she's also a big badminton player, and so seeing her do so well is fantastic. And then, lots of familiar names, big athletes, good racket players.
We kind of joke because when on Monday I saw Jacob there, like Jacob Fry, and I literally just interviewed him like last week. So we kind of joked, he's like, hey, we'll get an interview with, we'll do volleyball and tennis back to back. And then they kind of steered me into a different direction, I guess. So that's kind of rude of them, but either way, it was awesome though. So Andrea, I can't remember her last name. I want to say it's Lefebvre.
Andrea.
Yeah, Andrea. You know Andrea?
Yeah, teacher at Chippewa. Her son's Cohen, and then she has another son, Noah, who's my age. And she is lovely. She's fantastic.
So she sent me an email on Sunday saying, hey, come out. And I was like, sweet, okay. I didn't have any planned recordings or anything, so I was able to pop out there. She was super nice. All the people there were super nice. And I got to speak to probably the best person there, Francois don't know how to say his last name. He's South African. I keep wanting to say golf pro. He is the tennis pro up there. Super cool guy. So we'll get to his. I got a chance to talk to him a little bit. We'll get to his interview in a second. But it was pretty cool. Like it reminded me almost of like the track and field or cross country meets that they do, where it's just a lot of people hanging out. And then just playing games as a one-in, and then it ended up bleeding into Tuesday, which I was not able to get back there for. I know they were thinking of like rainouts and stuff, but it was kind of cool. So let's get to some of these interviews. First, we'll throw it over to the boys, winners from Chippewa, Cohen and Arthur, and then we'll follow that with Sophia and Carly right after.
And I'm here with Arthur and Cohen from the Chippewa. You are the men's double team. Let's just start off by what exactly is this tournament and what's going on here today?
Yeah, so this is just like the citywide tournament. All the schools in the city and then some like other schools like Northern and Mattawa are here. And so it's just a tournament style, and the winner will go to NOSSA, and it's just kind of a citywide tournament.
Now you guys are playing in less than 5 minutes in a few minutes here. First of all, who are you playing against, and what's the thought process going into this? I'll start with you, Arthur.
I think we're playing Ferris because we got a bye to the round 2, so we didn't get to play round 1, and I feel pretty confident. I'm playing with this guy all summer, so I think we got a good chemistry, and we're looking forward to win NDA.
Yeah, that's our end goal. Win the tournament, but we'll start with the first game. The goal, I think, for us is not to do too much, just kind of get in the pace of things. There's more matches to play, so just start off nice and easy and build from there.
So obviously this is a 2-day tournament. How many games, assuming you guys get all the way to the finals, how many games do you have to play all together?
I believe 3 or 4. We got a first round bye, which is nice, so 1 less. So I think 3.
And how long are the games roughly? How many sets do you guys play?
The sets are 8 games. Whoever gets 8 games first win, and it's about, I don't know how long it takes, but it's about like 30 minutes, 40 minutes ish.
So so let's talk a little bit about what you guys do obviously in the off season. So this is just being a tournament here. What does the summer look like for you guys? You said you play together a little bit in the summer. Is that through the Granite Club here, or?
Yeah, exactly. We're both here in the Granite Club every summer. Was this your first summer?
Yeah, first summer.
Yeah, and I've been here for a few years, so there's tournaments and league games every now and then, so we just come out and play.
Cool. All right, well, good luck, guys. I know you guys have to get going, so I won't keep it up anymore. Good luck, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow in the finals.
Perfect, thank you.
So I'm here with Sophia and Carly, who are with the Scholar Bears women's doubles team. First of all, you guys just beat Mattawa. I think it was like 8-0. How has the day been so far for you?
The day's been good. We've played 2 games so far. We haven't dropped any games, so we're doing good, and we're hoping to keep it that way. Yeah.
So how many games do you guys have left now? I think you probably have a few more before you get into the playoffs.
I don't know. We have to stay here the whole day, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we come back tomorrow for like finals and all that. So we're hoping like another game today.
So Sophia, you're from Italy. Apparently, you're on an exchange. What brought you to North Bay, and how did you get to be here on this beautiful day?
I didn't choose North Bay; they chose me. So
you come to North Bay. I'm assuming it's probably your first time living abroad. How has it been so far?
I feel like I'm growing so much because you're in a different country, away from everyone, and I'm trying to experience as many things as possible. That's
awesome. Okay, so. What does NOSSA look like a little bit? Because you've been there before, Carly. So talk a little bit about NOSSA. I believe you said it's next week in Elliott Lake. What does the road to NOSSA and then OFSA look like for you guys?
We're not quite sure what the competition yet is at NOSSA, but from previous years, it hasn't been too challenging, so we're hoping that it can be kind of the same as the previous year that I went, but we're hoping for a top 2 or top 3 to make it to OFSA. So.
Yeah.
And how did you guys do last year at NOSSA?
I didn't compete last year, but I did in my grade 10 year, and me and my sister, we got 3rd, so we went to OFSA. So.
How did you do there?
We did pretty well. We're not like pro tennis players or anything, so just playing against people who've played quite often down south, it's nice to have a little challenge. So we did well. We didn't win any games, but we did win some points, and it was good.
So one of the things we like asking is, what does the future hold for the bright young minds here? If somebody asked me that when I was your age, I'd I don't know what I would say, but let's start with you. Obviously, coming into Canada, what are your hopes for once you get past high school? What do you want to do? What are you taking?
Okay, coming back in Italy, I have to do another grade because we have 13 grades at high school, and I want to attend university, graduate, and maybe like something diplomatic career. I hope so. If I learn English very well, I need to get better, but I have time.
Oh, you're pretty good. Better than some people I met who actually speak English. Carly, what does it look like for your future?
Post-secondary, I plan to go to university somewhere. I'm not sure where yet, but I'd like to compete in track and field and, study at the same time.
Well, good luck and congratulations on the win, and good luck for the rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so a couple of really neat interviews there. Of course, I talked to them before they won, and then they ended up winning. I know Carly's been to she's been to NOSSA before, but overall it was good to see them go back and win. And then of course Chippewa taking it down, I guess, is the collective points total.
Yeah, Chippewa had some strong boys who were coming up. I think Cohen had already been to OFSA last year in Toronto. I believe it was in Toronto again. And then there were the girls. I came out of nowhere. You said one was from Italy?
Yeah, so in that interview, Sophia, she came from Italy. She's an exchange. It was funny when I did ask her why she chose North Bay, and she's like, Sculler chose me. And I'm like, okay, that's fair point. But either way, it was kind of neat. And she wants to be like an ambassador, I think is what she was saying. I don't know, like a diplomatic ambassador, I think is what she meant. But that's pretty crazy. Like, you never know who you're going to meet here. And speaking of people you never know you're going to meet, let's talk about Francois for a second, because you know, as soon as I brought his name up, you're like, oh yeah, Francois. So we'll get to his interview in a second. But yeah, he's the tennis pro there. Super cool guy, and I love the South African accent.
Yeah, he's got a strong accent. He seems like a really intense guy when it comes down to tennis. Like, he's a really friendly, he's a good coach, but I imagine when he was in his prime playing matches, he was just like, you could see it. You could see that, yeah.
Yeah, he was in kind of a convener role, making sure he was like the umpire, making sure everything's going well. So I didn't see the passion, but super nice guy. He kept saying thank you, like as I was leaving and stuff. He was very appreciative of coming out, which was awesome. So if anybody else has an event that's going on like that, just send us let me know, and we'll try and cover it. But let's send things over to Francois, who you'll hear this in the interview. Fun fact: met his wife in Dubai, and she's from North Bay, and that's how he came here. So let's throw it over to the interview with Francois.
So I'm here with Francois as we continue this beautiful day, and we are here doing the NDA Championship of Tennis here on this beautiful October day. I'm here with Francois, who is the pro here at the Granite Club for North Bay Tennis. First of all, where are you from? Because you have a bit of an accent.
That's right. Yeah, I'm from South Africa originally.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So been over here in North Bay by now for 15 years, coaching at the Granite Club in the summers. Yeah.
So obviously, you being the pro, what's your background? What are your qualifications?
I'm a Club Pro 2. That's one of the highest qualifications in Canada for coaches. Been that for about 8 years by now. I've been coaching the tennis for the last 30 years. I started off in South Africa, coached tennis in England and Dubai and America, all over the place, before I landed over here in North Bay.
That's what a wild journey that you've had. So let's talk a little bit about this. What's your role here today? I know you're helping a little bit with the convening. I see you running around with the clipboard. What is your role?
I'm basically the main umpire for the day. So I'm helping with the scoring. I'm helping with the rules. Some of the players are not maybe that confident, as not maybe playing that many tennis matches before. So I'm just helping out a little bit with the scoring, helping out with the rules, and just helping out Chantal over here with the convening. So just putting games on the court so we can stay on track.
What's been I know we're kind of in the early parts of this. It's right around noon, and this is going to go until tomorrow. What's your favorite part so far of today that you've seen?
Oh, the main thing is just seeing so many many children out here, so many players out here. It's awesome. This is definitely the highest attendance we've ever had for NDA, and it's been growing steadily every year. So, but this is definitely the most players we've had. So it's really exciting to see them all out and trying it out. Like I said, a lot of them has maybe not played a lot of tennis before, but yeah, great to see them come and try it and have fun doing it.
So you said there's so many teams that are in place. If you want to play tennis, if you're a kid in high school, or I should say a teenager, what's the path here to be able to do something like this? I know you can just buy a racket and stuff, but what does it look like for kids who are interested?
We've got different pathways to start tennis over here at the club, especially from the beginning of the summer. We do definitely start them from a little bit younger, but there's still place for high school players also to come and try it out. Take up the racket, and there's lessons, programming available. They can play right through the summer. There's junior leagues and everything like that also. So definitely some place for any level and any age.
So last question before I let you go here. So outside of this championship, you guys, I'm assuming, still have programs going into the fall. What does your fall programming look like, and then going into the winter and spring?
Unfortunately, not a lot of programming over here in the fall. Very heavily more concentrated in the spring. Normally it gets pretty quiet over here actually when the school starts again. So far we have not had really any fall programming going, and it's a little bit tough sometimes with the weather also over here. But definitely from the beginning of the season, from the beginning of May onwards, a lot of programming, running from beginner classes into summer camps, and like I said again, leagues for juniors and adults, everything. But yeah, it's definitely something we got to look at in the future. Then, if the weather is going to stay a little bit warmer longer, we can definitely, and because the NDA and the high school tennis is now in the fall, we'll definitely get some programming going for this time of year to get more players out and get them on the court.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, Francois, and good luck for the rest of the day.
Thank you very much, Dan. Thanks.
So one of the other things I got to sit down as we kind of move into the post-secondary and club side of things was I got the chance to sit down with a couple of the Lakers women's soccer members, David Batanti, Annika Nolte, and Cassidy Brooks. And I was trying really hard to say Annika's name right because it's spelled Annika, but it's pronounced Annika. So I had to keep writing it down like O-N to make sure. Great interview with them as they came in on Monday, and we got to sit down, talked about the season, talked like Annika herself. She's having a breakout season as a midfielder, 11 goals. So we're going to have a very short snippet here. It's about 5 minutes. If you want to see the whole interview, go to our YouTube channel. The link will be in the description as well. It's about 50 minutes. So it was a great conversation with those three. But here we are with the Lakers women's soccer team.
Dear North Bay, you've always been more than a place on the map. You're home to me. This is where I built a life with my husband, raised our kids, and taught in local schools for over 24 years. I'm proud to be part of this community. Earlier this year, my world shifted. After living with anxiety, depression, and PTSD for much of my life, I reached a point where I couldn't keep going alone. Walking into the emergency department at the North Bay Regional Health Center was one of the hardest things I've ever done. But what I found there changed everything. A nurse who made me feel safe, a crisis worker who truly listened. For the first time in a long time, I felt seen. That care gave me hope, and it inspired me to give back by supporting local healthcare so that others in our community can access the same compassionate care I did. If my story resonates with you, I hope you'll consider supporting the NBRHC Foundation. Please visit nbrhcfoundation.ca or call 705-495-8125 to give. Because mental health is health. With gratitude, Tiffany Van Meer.
It's almost that time of year. Early mornings at the rink, fresh notebooks and backpacks, and a community gearing up for another great season of varsity sports. At Source for Sports North Bay, we're proud to be part of it all. Whether it's finding your kid's first pair of skates, gearing up for tryouts, or outfitting your team for the season ahead, we've got you covered. Because here, we're not just a sports store, we're neighbors, coaches, teammates, and fans. And we're proud to cheer you on every shift, step, and stride of the way. Visit Source for Sports North Bay at 1321 Fisher Street and let us help you along your way. But you guys have had, I would say, a normal year for you guys. I think last year you had a similar record. Oh no, sorry. Last year I think we were like 9-3, and then the previous year. So not a season that's, I guess you would say, out of the normal for you. You're 7-1-2, tied with UFT for your first overall right now, but you're tied with in record with UFT. You got 2 games left coming up this weekend. UFT is one of them, I believe, on Sunday is your final game. What is the goal for you guys going into that final game? Outside of obviously winning that, but what are some of the ideas that you want to take into those games? Don't all start at once.
No, I think, in terms of as a coach and a staff, I think this is the time where we start to, obviously we need to win, right? We want to win. That's the ultimate goal. I think that goes without saying. I think for us, it's to start to formulate some really good habits as we look to this weekend and leading into playoffs, right? It's to try to get on back on track with, getting on a roll, so to speak, and, start to focus in on, who are the players that are going to lead us there? Who's the ones that are going to step up and get us to where we want to go collectively as a group, right? I know that the girls have been working on, their goals in terms of where do we want to get to this year, right? And I think it just goes without being said, we want to get back to nationals. We got a lot to prove from, our experience last year, and having that experience kind of has lit a little bit of a fire under us, not comfortable with how we finished last year, knowing we probably could have done better, should have done better.
How did you finish, just for our viewers, how did you finish last year?
So last year we finished 5th at Nationals, 5th overall in terms of the country. And the tournament, it's a tournament style. So if you don't win your first game, unfortunately, you don't get into that medal round. Yeah. So it's how you perform in that first game, right? And then, going into PKs and losing in PKs is a bit of a bitter pill to swallow, right? And when you especially lose that way, when you feel like, you had a chance to win.
And what's the important? Is it important from a recruitment standpoint to say, hey, we're ranked X nationally? What's the importance, I would say, for the university outside of just saying, hey, look, we're number one? Ranked?
Yeah, that's a great question. And, using this year as a measuring stick to see, okay, we've made it to nationals, and you garner some more interest. There's no doubt. But that's the toughest part of this job is the recruitment, right? Logistically, where we're located, we're not typically a soccer part of the province. Let's face it. Northern Ontario is not where everybody says, "Oh, I really want to go play soccer in North Bay," and that's the toughest part. And I think it's, and the girls can testify is when they get here, it's just a matter of getting the players here, the kids here, to see what we have in North Bay, to see what Nipissing University offers. The minute that recruits walk into this group, what they pull away in terms of feeling like they have a place, just being welcomed, the culture that the group has set for themselves, it's felt within the group, and that is really the biggest recruiting feature that we provide, right? Now, being at nationals doesn't hurt. Absolutely, being ranked nationally doesn't hurt. But we still got to get out and pound the pavement. We got to get out there and say, hey, look at us, right? A small school with a very small population, doing some really big things, right? And it puts. I hope that it puts the university on the map a little bit more in a different light, and with regards to athletics. And I hope that that's something that we can continue to provide our athletes as a really good platform to not only just play soccer, but to get a great education within an awesome group, right? And it can, kind of fills their bucket in terms of the athletic, the academic, the social, and the emotional pieces that we look for.
Yeah, it's fascinating to talk about North Bay because when people come here, they love it, right? Like they're like, oh, this is so cool. You have all these things in your backyard. You guys are right where Descheny Falls is. You have all the trails there. It's a great place. Like, again, I went to Canadore outside of the bus system, which is like a whole other thing in North Bay, where the next year I'm like, I'm getting a car. And then I got a car. But it is a really nice place. And then the people who grew, like me growing up here, everybody just wants to get away. You want to go to the Toronto area or Vancouver, Halifax, or wherever. because you want something a little bit different. But then you realize that North Bay is kind of like the perfect size, really. So I guess for you guys, neither of you are from North Bay originally. No. So what brought you, first of all, why did you choose Nipissing as a program? But then also, I guess, what made you stay?
Well, for the soccer program, I chose it because of the girls, actually, who were on the team already. We came up, me and actually my other friend who plays on here too, Emma Franson. We grew up together. We're cousins, so we both came up for our recruiting.
And where are you from?
I'm from Dorchester, Ontario, and she's from London, so it's just...
It's like right down the road.
Right beside each other. We came up for our recruitment, and as soon as we got here, girls were so inviting, so nice, so welcoming. They wanted to get to know you, not just like, oh, another girl's here. Like, they actually wanted to get to know you, and they were really nice to talk about like the programs and answer any questions that we had, and as well as David and Nick were open to any questions, and anytime we wanted to call or wanted to meet, they were always available. So that's what really pulled me towards our program. But
for me, I had a bit of a unique recruitment.
Oh, here we go. Where are you
story.
from?
I'm from originally Georgetown, Ontario, but
I
live in Bellefontaine.
GTA, right?
GTA
area. Okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly. So, so the first, I guess, encounter with a Nipissing coach we had was with like our past recruiting coach, Mike Russell, and that was throughout like high school, like end of middle school, beginning of high school, when we would do all these showcases. And I think it was at the Umbro Showcase tournament that a bunch of us do. But he had come up to us at the end of, I say us, sorry.
Yeah.
A little background there. My twin sister used to play with us as well, but now she's off at a different school for her.
What was her name?
Samantha Brooks.
Samantha. Oh, look at that.
So if I use us and we, that's what I mean by that. But he came up to us and, expressed some interest, and we had kept in contact with him. But at the beginning of like high school kind of point, me and Sam had verbally committed, and then later on assigned to Central Michigan University. So that's where we were off to. But Mike always said, if anything changes, you can always reach out to us, which was the only coach who had ever said that. And so fast forward to 2020 when we were graduating, that's when the pandemic hit. And both of us and our parents were more comfortable to stay closer to home for school and soccer. And we reached right out to Mike and got us in contact with David. And it was all within the span of a few weeks, like late in the summer, like beginning August, late July. And and we got pulled into here. And they had the programs that we were enrolled in at the previous school. So that worked out perfectly also.
So again, if you want to watch the rest of that interview, you can find it on our YouTube video. Again, that was just a very short snippet. Highly suggest checking out the rest of it. But the women's soccer do have 2 games left to go as they look to close out their home schedule here at the Nipissing Field. Last week, though, they did win on the road. They won 1-0 over RMC, but the day prior to that lost 3-4 to Queens. On Saturday, they will be hosting Trent at noon, and then Sunday, their final game of the year, the University of Toronto comes to town, 12 o'clock, and that will be it until we go into playoffs.
The men's soccer also has their final 2 games this weekend, but last weekend lost 1-2 to Queens. Tomorrow, they host Trent at 2:15 at the Nipissing Field right after the women's game, and Sunday they host U of T right after the women's game at 2:15 as well. Shifting to hockey for the Lakers, the men's won 4-1 against UQTR, and tomorrow host Concordia at 4 o'clock. In women's hockey, the home opener is tonight at 7 against Windsor, and they play tomorrow against Queens at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, it's going to be women's hockey is always fun to go watch. The men's still building the program, but they started off 1-1, which is nice to see. Kind of a big win against the Quebec Trois Rivières. I believe it's the University of Quebec Trois Rivières. I'm not French, but I tried. And then another Quebec team, obviously, with Concordia. But the women's hockey always brings out a good crowd, and it's always a really good bit of hockey. When I was doing the Trappers game last week, they were actually on the ice practicing beforehand. So they were doing some work, and that's where it gets kind of tricky with Memorial Gardens because you have so many teams. Like the men's, obviously the battalion get first say, then you have the men's teams, the women's Laker team, the Trappers trying to play. I know there's a couple of games that the Trappers are playing now in Powassan, so it's hard to find ice. And then NDA starts in a couple months as well.
Yeah, I think NDA is going to have to utilize Sam Jacks or West Ferris Arena an awful lot because, like you said, the Gardens is precious. It's coveted. It's the one that everybody wants to be on, and there are a lot of people ahead of the NDA. So
yeah, but NDA hockey, it'll be exciting to get that back in, but it is good to see the men's team starting off pretty strong, and the women's team, of course, starting off as well. Speaking of other Lakers stuff, the final little piece of Lakers kind of news is kind of big because we are talking lacrosse. We saved the best for last in a way. As lacrosse happened, or I should say the Lakers lacrosse team finished off their final 2 games over the weekend, winning both, now going to a perfect 5-0. I was there for the Sunday game when they beat McMaster. Saw kind of the ending of the first quarter and a good chunk of the second quarter, including they were up 3-2 after the first quarter, and then it was McMaster that ended up tying it. Lakers took the lead again. It's always fun to watch lacrosse. It's such a it's actually, I wish I got to watch it more.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a home playoff game. I'm hoping we get to host a playoff game. We spoke to Jason after week 2 in that big win against Guelph, and then all of a sudden things are exploding. When we talked to him, he was real confident in his team and his guys. He was happy with where the program was after a few rebuild years, and it's paying off. 5-0 is incredible.
Yeah, and I did get a chance to go Wednesday evening. They practiced at 7:30, so I went there right before. First of all, it was freezing out because remember how Friday it was like bucket hat and, like Ryan's sitting there with a bucket hat and shorts on and a T-shirt, and it was great. And then I was freezing on Wednesday night. It was like 2 degrees outside trying to get this interview. I ended up talking to Callum Jeffries and Jason again as they are headed out onto the road. And we talked a little bit about the playoffs as well. So they have a chance to host one playoff game potentially, but they do need to get a couple of wins to get there. And then they will eventually, and then if they continue to do well, they'll be able to qualify for some of the finals. But let's throw things over to the interview that I had with head coach Jason Rudge and midfielder Callum Jeffery so they can talk about the season that has been and where it is going to go.
I'm here on a pretty gorgeous Wednesday evening. Finally chilly out. Finally feels like fall. I'm here with Callum Jeffries, who's a midfielder for the Lakers lacrosse team, a senior. Callum, first of all, congratulations on the hot start, 5-0 to start the season. How has the season been for you so far?
It's been great so far. Thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun. Great group of guys.
So obviously you've had a couple of crazy games this year, right? You had that huge 20-point win over Laurentian, and then you had that really nail-biter 11-10 overtime win, I think it was like 2 weeks ago or something like that. What's been your favorite game so far for you to participate in this year?
There's been lots of great games this year. Opening up with the Guelph game was lots of fun. I think a lot of people had us ranked pretty low. They didn't think we were going to do so well, so coming in hot was big for us. That Western game was a big one as well. We almost basically stole that game from them. 11-10 was a huge win. My favorite game, they've all been good. They've all been good team wins, I'd say.
So you're here, this is your 6th season, all of them with Nipissing so far?
No, so I did my undergrad at Brock, and then this is my 2nd year with Nipissing.
How have you felt the program has changed in the 2 years that you've been here? How have you guys developed? Because like coming in, you guys are ranked 2nd, I think it is right now. You're 5-0. Definitely what you'd like to see, but realistically probably not what you were expecting. So how does it feel to be where you are right now?
Feels really good. I think we feel confident in the work that we've put in getting to this point, but we're obviously not satisfied yet. Last year it was a 5-5 season. It was a battle, like a lot of tough games, and then going into this year we picked up some new recruits, some good players. So we're working hard, and I think we're just getting started at Nipissing here.
Yeah. And so going into those road games, how for you does a road game change from a home game? How do you prepare for it personally, and how do you get kind of in that mindset when you're not going to be at school all the time, you're on the road? How does that work for you?
Yeah, obviously it's nice to be at our own facility. You have your routines and rituals you like to do. Going on the road, it changes it up a little bit, but it's just about getting into that groove. And there's always a little bit more motivation, I guess, playing in road games. The other team's fans are coming out, so that always adds to it.
All right, cool. So we always love to asking students, mostly high school students, but it also works with university student athletes, what the aspirations are. What's your current major here at NIP?
I'm in education, so I'm just in my last year of Teachers College.
Nice. So PE teacher, what's the? I know I just assume sports, but what's the dream there?
My teachable is actually history, so yes, we'll see. I obviously enjoy physical education, but we'll see what the future holds.
All right, man. Thanks so much. Congratulations on the start, and good luck on the rest of the season.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, I'm here at the Nipissing Field with head coach of the Lakers Lacrosse, Jason Rudge. Jason, when we talked back after your victory against the Guelph Griffins, it was a big win. It was a big win for the program, and here we are, 4 weeks later, something like that, and you're 5-0 at home. You've played a heck of a season so far. As a coach, you want to win every game. Did you expect to be standing here 5-0 right now after your home stretch?
I knew it was going to be. We had a chance this season to go 5-0 for sure, but I knew playing Guelph, Western, and Brock, they're the perennial favorites every year. They always come out strong. All those 3 games would be tough, but our guys came in. We were prepared, and we made it happen. A close one against Western, but great adversity there, and we came back and got them in overtime. So yeah.
What has been your favorite thing about the season so far, about your team, the way they've played? It could be it's not even about the winning, but just maybe some of the ways that you guys have played tactically, or that you feel like your team has played cohesion-wise. What's been your favorite?
Yeah, and I think always as a coach, it's the culture of the guys, right? The athletes, the players, how they're coming together. We had 8 new guys come in this year, how they've just made them feel like a family and join the team, and just how as winning always helps, just the guys come together and want to go to battle together, and we do this big ritual of our circle at the end of the game where we thank everybody, and they want to do that every game. So when we're able to do that, it just makes everything a little bit better.
So last Friday I was at the Algonquin game against Ferris. You might be wondering, where's this going? Yeah. But the coach Ryan Dabian, he was wearing a bucket hat. He was wearing shorts. It was like plus 30 outside. Oh, yeah. We're standing here now. It's October, 6th it is. And randomly we're now in coats and freezing our butts off here. How does your team prepare maybe differently for some of the hotter games than as we go into this cold stretch, especially now that you are going more into Southern Ontario?
Yeah, it's definitely just being prepared, right? Being prepared for anything, keeping our body as an athlete. Nutrition's a big one. And just as we, are together 4 times a week and practicing, we're always reminding the guys to drink, hydrate, eat proper, right? So that we can either battle in the cold or battle in the hot, which we had this weekend, 2 very hot games, which were taxing on the guys. But the good thing this year is we have the depth and we can rely on a lot of our bench guys just to get through those games. Speaking
of this past weekend, obviously we did talk to David Batanti, who's the head coach of the Nipissing women's Laker team, soccer team. We also had a couple of their players in, and we're talking a little bit about home field advantage. You really wanted to talk about the home fans this year. It's so far, like, I've been to a few of your games. I was here on Sunday. The fans have come out. They've been great so far. How much have the fans been for you guys this year, and how has the support been on the Lakers side?
Yeah, as we keep winning, it's out there. Lots of guys are getting high fives in the hallways. A lot of athletes and coaches are coming up to us and congratulating ourselves on the start. And you can see that fan base grow and grow and grow. We're lucky we've got a great parent group that comes and travels on the road with us, but it's always great to have your home fans in there, giving it to the other team, little ribbing, little disencouragement, and things like that. So it's always nice to have the home fan advantage. And then just having your own facilities, right? Is we have the traditions and everything that we do here for a home game, and just we're a little more prepared when we're at home than on the road.
What's the tradition? There's always got to be weird superstition traditions. Can you share any with us? Like any weird ones that, or not even weird, but just funny ones that might seem a little interesting?
Well, our circle thing after we win is a different one. That's kind of, we used to have guys that did backflips and things like that, and we run around in a circle, which is awesome to see them celebrate. But I think it's more just having our locker room and what we do in there and how we prepare. And we got our player of the game helmet. We have my stool from my grandpa and things like that in the room that just makes it feel like it's ours.
So you guys obviously 5-0, you can't complain. What is the thing going into the last 5 games that maybe you haven't been doing so well that you're really trying to drill into your team to make sure that you keep going and that you'd like to see maybe a little bit of improvement on?
Well, and I think it's like everything is you have to continue to be better, right? As we look at every game, we break down every game through video or just chats as a group of how we can be better. What did we do well? What can we improve on? And things like that. And I think we just have to continue on our pace, be better every day, push each other, support each other, just as we continue this run.
Okay, well, as we start to wind down a little bit, most improved player you've seen so far this year, maybe it's a newer player that's come in, maybe it's a senior player. Who's been the player that stuck out to you in terms of just improving year over year?
Oh, that's hard. Obviously, we've been lucky enough that we've had 2 guys come in. Connor O'Toole as our goalie came in from Brock. He's an NLL goalie. He's come in and he's stood on his head and won 5 games. And then, a local Huntsville guy that I've coached since he was 13, Jason Knox, has come in and just had a fantastic start to his Clufa career, coming from an NCAA background and also plays professional lacrosse. So having those 2 guys, but I think it's just everybody's pushing each other to be better, and they're just continue to grow, continue to push each other. We have a next man up attitude. Is this, if you're not there, there's a guy going to steal your position.
Well, speaking of Clufa, you guys are ranked 2nd in the, the organization or association you would call it. First of all, congratulations on that. Good luck for the rest of the season, and hopefully we'll be back here in about a month's time or so to watch some playoff lacrosse here at home.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's the goal, right, is the home playoff game, and hopefully we get that berth to the Bag Getaway Cup and, do that strive for that national championship.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and good luck, Coach.
All right.
And so that does it for another Sportscast, right? So it's lots of stuff in this one, and next week we should have probably not as much stuff, but a very busy week in sports.
Yeah, it's going to be reading week next week for the Nipissing, so we'll cover this weekend and then call it.
So that's been another Echo Sportscast.
I'm Jackson Bull.
And I'm Ben Sargent. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you again next Friday.